Welcome to Delenda est Carthago, a Curmudgeons.net podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Andy.
And I'm your other host, Aaron. We're here to cut through the clutter of some of today's headlines.
This is the Andy, why do you keep telling me it's your birthday edition of the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast today. We have a guest, my brother Carl, and we apologize in advance for ruining your reputation.
It's quite all right. Anybody that knows me already either thinks I'm crazy or is okay with how I am.
That's true. That's true. So this is the beginning of our school year podcasting, and we'll be live together instead of Skyping, probably until forever. Oh, that's right. We never stop schooling.
No, we never stop. Well, we thought that we should stop schooling since that's what the public schools do.
And then we decided.
Then we realized, that's what the public schools do.
It's a terrible idea. And this week we'll start by giving you an agenda of what we're going to talk about, or what we think we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Although it rarely
This
works.
show never goes off the rails.
Ever. We stick to the script, just like the mainstream media.
Is that why you have me here to try and keep you on track?
That's
right.
actually
a good idea.
It's like the whip.
Yeah. Majority or minority whip? That's the question.
There's only three of us, so. So today on the agenda we have Syria, of course, but not just Syria. We have our beloved friend Al Mohler,
The Reverend.
the Reverend Doctor.
I like to call him the Reverend Al because that's what Al Green is called. It's just, there's something fitting.
I think I like Al Green better.
I know I like Al Green better.
We'll get to that later. So we have Syria, Al Mohler. We also have our new recurring segment, the NSA.
Yes. Since we talk about it anyway every single
There's just so much.
There's always a new story to talk about.
And because you can't get enough, we have charts.
I love charts. And finally, we have because we're about to enter fall and it's that time of year. We have beer tasting today, and we're going to be tasting Oktoberfest beers. All right, our first topic is Syria and Al Mohler. And
I think you should read exactly what you wrote as the first line of this segment.
All right, I wrote, I want to demolish Al Mohler.
I think he means that argumentatively.
That's literally, I literally wanted to. So I have the annoying habit of listening to his podcast.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that.
I'm a masochist.
Yeah.
You have to know your enemy, however.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
That's a good point. And he had some particularly good things to say on Thursday and Friday of this week.
Sure.
So I've taken the liberty of cutting them out of his podcast, and I will play them now. Now, it should be noted that we'll have to stop every few seconds to interject. Actually, the first one is pretty long. It's about a minute, so let me play this.
Wow, you're going to let him get a minute in? You
You
might have to pause it. Keep your finger on the button.
It all goes together, so let's see how it goes.
But opinion in the world, and for that matter, opinion in the United States, is decidedly turning against the president. Evidence of that came yesterday in USA Today, where the paper's own editorial board declared chances are improving that Congress will eventually give President Obama the vote he needs to attack Syria. Leaders of both parties in the ever-contentious House signed on Tuesday, and most members seem likely to follow, if reluctantly, and well they should. The paper goes on to say to repudiate such an unusual and unnecessary request will be an act of irresponsibility that would do immense damage, undercutting U.S. credibility, inviting trouble in both Syria and Iran, and potentially weakening future presidents. It's very interesting.
We wouldn't want that now, would we? He's almost done.
But opinion in the world, and for that matter, opinion in the United States,
Sorry.
undercutting U.S. credibility, inviting trouble in both Syria and Iran, and potentially weakening future presidents. It's very interesting to consider the first sentence of that paragraph. To repudiate, they said, such an unusual and unnecessary request. In other words, USA Today is declaring that the President of the United States has made a fundamental error in drawing a line and then backing off of it and going to ask Congress for permission to do what the Constitution and the War Powers Act clearly authorize him to do.
What?
I knew you'd like that one. Where should we start on this one?
I'd like to start by just saying no. No.
I'd like to say, where is that?
Well, so it's funny you should ask such a ridiculous question as to what something says in the law.
I don't remember that.
So I took the liberty of taking Section 8 of the Constitution where it says that Congress has the power to collect taxes, blah, 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 to declare war, to raise and support armies, and to provide a navy.
That was the president, right?
Did I misread it?
I don't believe I heard that word.
I must have misread. Where it
No,
said
president. CONGRESS. That's clearly president,
Clearly.
right?
Clearly.
Okay.
What our buddy Al may be referring to is either the War Powers Act of 1941, which gave the president unlimited power to wage war, or the supposed War Powers Resolution of 1973, which limited the president's ability to wage undeclared war for no more than 90 days.
Oh, so it was oh crap, we gave all that power to FDR because everybody liked him for some unknowable reason.
It's a big mistake.
I'm guessing back then they were also hoping that the Congress at the time decided to do the right thing and not do that.
They
but
were.
Apparently even then
they were naive, a little naive. Now,
well, that was back when there might have been a little anti-war sentiment on the right, so yeah, a little.
So now, under this War Powers Resolution, the president can send troops anywhere he wants for up to 60 days with a 30-day and
money-back guarantee.
Money-back guarantee. He just has to tell Congress within 2 days that he did it.
Yes.
Guys, by the way, I started a war in Syria.
And I need money.
And I need some money. No, he calls his buddy Ben Bernanke for that.
Well, I was going to say, you basically just said that, well, you keep saying Congress, but obviously the president has the power to do that. So he should be able to just make his own money then, right?
I think he does that.
Oh!
You forgot.
I was confused for a moment.
But let's continue with Al's...
Why doesn't he just do it in an executive order?
What's the difference between that and the War Power Resolution? I'm confused. All right, so that was... I don't know if this next one is from the same day. This might be the next day. But it only gets worse, so...
Well, hold on. Didn't he said something else annoying in there. Trying to think of what it was. Can you play like the last 15 seconds?
Sure. We have the technology.
To repudiate, they said, such an unusual and unnecessary request.
Oh, that was the part that bothered me.
Unnecessary.
So, USA Today has the opinion that it's an unnecessary request.
No. They're saying that he shouldn't repudiate that, right? You want me to roll the tape back?
Yeah, give me that one more time.
Here, I'll go back a little further.
It goes on to say, to repudiate such an unusual and unnecessary request would be an act of irresponsibility that would do immense damage, undercutting U.S. credibility, inviting trouble in both Syria and Iran, and potentially weakening future
Congress.
presidents.
Right.
To repudiate Obama's request to vote on it or whatever, right?
Right, exactly. But here's my question. Why is that an unnecessary request?
Well, because Syria is about to destroy the world, and we have to go to war right now.
Right, that's the part that I'm really getting at. He says that this is going to cause future problems. I'm sorry, he or USA Today, I can't tell at this point which one. Because it sounds like he agrees with them, stunningly. Anyway, it's going to cause future problems in Syria and Iran.
That's right.
Now, how is that going to happen?
Because USA Today said so, or Al Mohler said so.
Because, again, how is that going to happen?
Because chemical weapons.
Squirrel.
I think it was you that pointed out there is no test for the chemical weapons.
Well, that's the other thing. He continues to read these stories as if they are gospel.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah. Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, well, it was in the New York Times or USA Today. Assad used chemical weapons. It must be true.
Right.
Of course, nobody over there is walking around in level 5 fire protection equipment.
Right, exactly.
Amazingly, they're still alive.
Not even the UN peacekeepers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Even the UN guys are like, well, get out my dipstick.
Exactly. Something doesn't quite happen.
No, none of it works.
There's a problem here.
On any logical test.
Let's continue with the Reverend Doctor.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Not unexpectedly, the New York Times has run an op-ed piece by two...
So this is the next day. This is yesterday.
No, the next podcast.
Yes, it's the next podcast. That first one was just a small clip. He was really...
Oh, I'm sure it got much, much better.
He was in a rage, really.
Not unexpectedly, the New York Times has run an op-ed piece by two men, Ona Hathaway and Scott Shapiro, arguing that the United States must go to the United Nations.
Now, not that I care, but was that almost like a veiled reference to like these two dudes wrote a?
Yeah, I kind of was puzzled by that. Why?
Two men wrote an article here. I don't know what that's all about.
Arguing that the United States must go to the United Nations to ask for permission to take military action, and that unless the United States does so, it will be taking an illegal action. In fact, these authors almost insinuate that the action undertaken by the United States to protect civilians in Syria will be as illegal as the Syrian president's acts against his own people.
Preposterous!
Almost as illegal.
Almost as illegal.
Hey, but almost as illegal. Isn't that like almost pregnant? You
Is
either are or you're right.
Yeah. You can't
You either are
unscrew
illegal
that
or
light
you're
bulb.
not.
Yeah,
I mean-
you're absolutely right.
I hope your blood pressures are okay. So
Well-
it only gets worse.
Hold on.
You need a breather?
Yeah, I do. I actually need a drink. What? Okay, so explain the logic to me. The Syrian government oppresses its people just like our government oppresses its people.
No, our government doesn't oppress its people. You must be mistaken.
Okay. Okay. However, why do we care? Why does our government care?
Because there's gold in them there hills.
Strategery.
Strategery. Russia.
Yeah, you notice the whole evil empire gets thrown around a lot.
I have that too.
Oh.
There's a really good clip of that.
My head may explode.
I won't. It's kind of buried in there. I'll see if you pick up on it when we get to it.
So disturbing.
It is. It really is.
The two writers are both professors of law at Yale University.
Well,
Clearly gay.
gay.
Clearly gay.
Gay.
With you, Al.
They write, it is no surprise that both liberal interventionists and
Oh!
conservative realists are advocating American military intervention. Even
Stop!
if it's illegal.
Stop! What?
Let me just point out that the word
He said liberal interventionists
Yeah.
and conservatives.
Realists. I
What?
thought it was realists.
Realists.
He said, yes.
Right. Right. Well, how is it realist to say, oh, let's start bombing brown people in another country because we can bomb brown people in another country?
Why would we
What
not-
is realist about that?
Why would we not do that?
What is his definition of realism? Last I thought...
Conservative is real. He just told you.
I think that's the problem, though.
Does he forget the Trail of Tears?
Oh,
And,
my word, yes.
I mean,
yes. Sitting Bull?
yeah.
No, not ringing a
Apparently
bell.
that doesn't
Not
ring
ringing
a
a bell.
bell.
How about the
American
internment
military
camps?
intervention.
Sorry.
You keep... Look, I won't be talked over by the Reverend Al.
Conservative realists are advocating American military intervention, even if it's illegal. Let me just
No
point out that the word
kidding!
Illegal there is a very modern construct in terms.
That is a modern construct.
Yeah, anything that happened after the Magna Carta is a modern concept for Reverend Al.
In terms of the action of nations as related to war. It might be
There are no illegal actions by nations when it concerns war. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
That's
essentially.
That's a
Essentially,
modern,
that's
a
what
modern
he's
concept.
Yeah.
If you're a nation and
Well,
you go
okay.
to war, it's legal.
Fine. That's all right. When Poland got invaded, what should have happened then?
That was totally legal. Germany declared war on Poland.
Right? So it was legal.
It's legal.
Well, then why did we have World War II?
Don't know.
So what that they were trying to invade Britain? That should have been
It's
legal.
legal.
The British were obviously oppressing their people.
Is that maybe that's not modern?
Oh, it might not be. That was after
We
the
need
Magna
him
Carta.
to. We need him to define modern.
And the French resistance would have been impeding a legal act.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
They
too.
should have all been slaughtered.
Oh
right?
my word!
For
Yes.
sure.
They should have just
in
put
terms of
everyone
action
under
of
the
nations
guillotine.
as related to war. It might be even abhorrent in terms of world opinion, but illegal, that insinuates an international rule of law, which is more a fiction than a fact.
All right, please, please stop. This is cruelty. No one should be forced to listen to this crap.
I don't know why I listened to the whole. I think I was like, every sentence he said, I was like, I can't believe he just said that, and it got worse and worse. It's like watching a train.
Why? Okay, back it up. Play it again, please. This.
The whole thing.
Why am I making you play it again?
The whole
no,
thing?
No. Just that
From the last-
I don't know, 15, 20 seconds.
In terms of the action of nations as related to war. It might be even abhorrent in terms of world opinion, but illegal, that insinuates an international rule of law,
Stop
which is
there.
more...
Why does that insinuate an international rule of law? Could someone explain that to me? Why is that the natural conclusion?
I don't know why the Reverend Doctor, president of the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, is arguing legalities instead of moralities. That's...
And there's, of course, no question and answer session.
I mean, I do know why.
You're baiting me. Because they don't...
They don't teach that in that seminary?
I'm not sure they teach that anywhere anymore.
That could be right.
Go to the Mises Institute. Beyond that, I'm not sure. No one's concerned about non-aggression. No one's concerned about
Do we know is the basis for any of his rant here have anything to do with any of the Christians being slaughtered? Does he now?
Wait! The Christians being slaughtered, Carlton.
Just saying.
The good guys are doing that. We can't complain about that.
I understand, but does he actually touch on this topic at all? I think anything related to his justification.
He did mention that, I think, at one point during the week, and it was that guy Assad gassed those people.
Okay. That guy Assad.
And it's just a good thing we got those rebels fighting against them.
I saw Assad out there with a gas mask and a couple canisters. I don't know what he had, but I'm thinking it was chemical weapons. That guy.
No doubt.
Oh, my word.
All right. We're almost halfway through.
You've gotten through the first.
You're starting to make me hate myself, too.
The authors quote President Obama last Saturday, who said, quote, "If we won't enforce accountability in the face of this heinous act, what does it say about our resolve to stand up to..."
Stop. Okay. They quoted him on Saturday. What did he say on Friday? Because I'm pretty sure if you listen to him, every day he's got a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Just like probably every day Reverend Al has a little bit different story in order to justify this.
I really... Well, he's totally glossed over any news stories about the, like you said, the rebels doing anything wrong, right? What we need is a clear cut, maybe like a video of a guy admitting to using chemical weapons or something, and just, he's in his own world.
To stand up to others who flout fundamental international rules. But then they go on to write, but this question ignores the obvious.
He can't have it both ways,
If the United States begins an attack without Security Council authorization, it will flout the most fundamental international rule.
What is he doing agreeing with Obama anyway?
Because
I thought his sworn goal, like all the other arch-conservatives, is to disagree with no matter anything
unless you're
that
bombing,
Obama says.
If you're bombing brown people, it's okay.
Yes. That's the problem.
That's first Mohler 3-1, I think.
I don't think so. I think it's like first Al.
First Al?
It would not be Mohler. It would be Al.
It would be Al. No doubt.
Saint Al.
The divine.
Yes.
It will flout the most fundamental international rule of all, the prohibition on the use of military force for anything but self-defense in the absence of a Security Council approval.
This is what the New York Times guys are writing, right?
Yeah. The clearly liberal.
Clearly liberal. I mean, how ridiculous is that to say that unless you're acting in self-defense, you shouldn't go murder people?
Wait, when was the last time we were ever attacked?
That we didn't egg it on?
Never.
17.
Yeah. I think we kind of egged that on, though, too.
They go on to write, this rule may be even more important to the world's security and America's than the ban on the use of chemical weapons.
Whoa, wait, which rule is that? That we can't do anything without the Security Council?
Yeah, well, the idea that you can't go to war just because it has to be for self-defense.
That's crazy. Well, hold on. Okay, so on NPR on my way home on Thursday, I think it was.
See, don't give me a hard time. You listen to NPR.
That is pretty.
That's not as bad as this. My goodness.
You're right.
On NPR, there clearly are two sides. One of them is clearly wrong, but at least they present both sides. This is... Anyway, they said...
Did I mention he doesn't accept comments on his blog? Anyway.
That tells you everything you need to know.
They said...
You've thrown me off from my
NPR said something.
Yeah. Now it's gone.
It's gone. Your files, they're just gone.
My goodness. Yeah, they're on in the computer.
No backup for that.
No.
All right.
They go on to write, this rule may be even more important to the world's security and America's than the ban on the use of chemical weapons. Here we have an almost idolatrous worship of international law.
Which is not as good as my idolatrous worship of conservatism, the United States,
Ronald Reagan,
the United States military, democracy,
the eagle.
I could go on and on. That little eye thing in a triangle on the dollar bill.
You took the words right out of my mouth as I was listening to this.
The giant Masonic penis in Washington. What else do we got?
That's America's penis.
Which again is actually, on the ground, virtually everywhere in the globe, far more a legal fiction than a fact.
Illegal fiction.
Illegal fiction, isn't that like one of those detective novels?
Illegal fiction. With the cover with the two people and the guns.
Oh, man.
And yet it is the dream of internationalists on both the left and the right, and especially on the left, to come up with a regime of international law to which all nations, including the United States, would be accountable.
I spit on you.
We are accountable to no one!
What the heck? He's psychotic.
But they still want to be a part of the UN.
Oh, he's psychotic, all right.
So that's what doesn't.
Well, that's
make
what I know.
sense.
Yeah.
So I don't quite understand.
I'm sure he doesn't, though.
Oh, he does.
So
Because
he
he
would not.
doesn't want accountability. He doesn't want the
But
accountability.
he doesn't want to be a part of the
spectrum.
UN, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah, right.
Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Right.
Okay. Which
Yeah.
is usually what happens. Somebody might have the right answer, but the reasoning for getting there
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Right, exactly.
But he doesn't want the UN, but he wants the U.S.
Correct.
to essentially be the UN
Right.
and police the world.
Right.
Like the UN is supposed to do.
Wants. It is.
It is. Well, he likes that.
Well, I'm sure.
But the situation in Syria points to the absolute ineffectiveness of the United Nations and of the supposed construct of international law.
So therefore,
just do our own thing.
Rwanda didn't point that out.
I don't know what you're talking about. There was no genocide there.
And what about the Balkans?
I don't know where is that?
Wouldn't that have also pointed out that the interference of all these other countries didn't help either?
It's crazy talk.
If international law were workable, where is the international police force to require compliance from Bashir Assad?
They're in Africa. Peacekeeping by raping everyone, apparently.
It's international law. We have to enforce it.
Well, it doesn't exist, and it doesn't exist
All right,
because
stop. No. That's a good point. That's the problem with the mindset of these people, just like the mindset of Obama. And this is why they're so similar. It's law, therefore it must be enforced. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to make any sense.
No.
It doesn't have to be moral. It doesn't have to be ethical. And it clearly doesn't have to be to anyone's benefit that is an actual citizen of any country, anywhere.
We love the law.
It just has to be enforceable.
It's the law, and it's enforceable, exactly.
Yeah, this is the Old Testament.
Right down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Corrupted. Even further. You know, the Old Testament was great because it demonstrated our sin.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't even do that. It, like, celebrates our sin. It's like, we made our sin the law. This is even better.
Well, it doesn't exist, and it doesn't exist because the Security Council in the United Nations has 5 members who have permanent status and veto power.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. NPR went off about how Russia hasn't let the Security Council do anything for years. And I wanted to say, so Russia's doing a good job.
Let me play the
I like those Russians.
Let me play the next clip for you.
He's going to mirror
And
the
both China
NPR.
and the Russians have indicated that they would.
Did you pick up on that?
The Russians.
China
Oh,
China.
and the Russians.
Okay.
Not China and Russia.
China and the Russians.
Oh, yeah. Because there's Russians here.
They're Russians.
You might
They're
be
everywhere.
one of them.
Calling Senator McCarthy. Calling Senator McCarthy.
And both China and the Russians have indicated that they would veto any effort to bring Syria to
How is
account
he not in the
for
Senate?
the use of chemical weapons.
The Russians?
Oh, Mohler.
Oh, he makes way more money doing what he's doing.
That's true. That's true. You're right.
My gosh, how many Southern Baptists are there?
Yep.
There are not that many lobbyists in the world.
Stop baiting me.
Baiting you.
Stop baiting me.
I'm a terrible person.
You are.
So what do Christians learn from all of this? Well, one thing...
When is it okay to kill people? Listen.
Always, as long as they're not on your side.
So what do Christians learn from all of this? Well, one thing we learn is the humbling realization that there is no international police force to enforce justice and righteousness.
Oh my goodness!
He could have stopped. He could have
Enforce
stopped after.
Has he not taken an ethics or a morals class And even in ethics class, in college, for a BA, would teach him that you cannot enforce this. Enforce righteousness?
I think that was a...
When did you...
I think that was a slip.
Do you not believe in the New Testament, Al?
I think that was a slip, actually, because he doesn't say it again.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't say it again. He's
says
probably
justice.
like, oh crap, I said what I think.
It is up to nations.
Sorry.
Even in this fallen world, it falls to nations, and we better hope that the nations who have the greatest influence are those who have the greatest commitment to justice and righteousness.
Now, he doesn't...
I hope the bully on the playground has my best interests in mind.
He didn't say, in his defense, that he thinks it's the U.S. necessarily that has all the justice and righteousness in the world. So he could be talking about another country.
Yeah, Israel.
It's probably Israel.
Or Russia.
Or Russia.
But probably not.
Probably not Russia.
Probably not Russia.
There are some countries...
Russia has Russians in it.
and China has
True.
Chinese in it.
That's just...
Some countries are more righteous than others.
Look, Israel's just America, but better. So
I've heard that. If you can take it, there's a...
I'm not so sure. But
I'm not sure we should continue, actually. It's...
Now do it. We can always cut it.
All right.
Looking at
You
this
can
issue
always
very
cut it.
quickly, it's important to recognize what President Obama said as he was headed for an international summit meeting on the issue of Syria. He
Where
said,
was that
quote,
at?
I think it's in Russia.
quote, my credibility is not on the line. International credibility is on the line.
Oh, yeah. What's the deal? He literally said, well, I can't say he literally said.
Well,
I'm
he'll tell you what he said.
paraphrasing.
He'll tell you
Oh,
what he
is
said.
he going to say
I
it?
think so.
The world quoted the American president as saying, the world is on the line. My credibility is not on the line.
No, he went on to say, Obama went on to say, this isn't just something I made up out of nowhere. So, did he, like, call around, yo, Vlad, what do you think about me saying, don't do any of the chemical weapons? Can I say that? Can I say that? No, we didn't say that. You did come out of it. You picked it out of your nose. Jerk.
Recurrently on this program, we've come back to the fact that there is no such thing as a global government,
Recurrently, huh?
Since yesterday, at least.
a world government, and that's a good thing. As
Yeah.
it turns out, it's almost true that the international community is more of a fiction than a fact.
All right, stop it here. Okay, how is it better that his nation, I'm going to say it that way because he probably wouldn't agree that it's also mine, but how is it that his nation's opinion is better than international opinion?
Because they're righteous.
Why is it that the somewhat, barely, really not at all, smaller government in the United States is somehow has a better opinion just because they can enforce a non-existent law that he's making up for us to intervene in Syria? How is that better? Actually, he's arguing that, well, if you can't have a world government, you probably shouldn't have this one either. And you probably shouldn't have the next one down either.
He would never make that argument.
I know he wouldn't, but he's making that argument by being as ridiculous as he is and saying that somehow if you had a police force for the world, then international law would be justifiable.
Yes.
And the issue right now that faces us is that the situation in Syria has revealed the truth of the fact that the international community, in a very real sense, doesn't even exist.
I have an idea. We're recruiting. We want police officers for the Curmudgeons police force. We're going to make up our own random laws. Then we'll have our police force enforce them, and then we'll be legit.
As long as you write it on a piece of paper and have a couple people sign it. Yes.
I think it works.
It's no problem.
President Obama continued by saying the question is, how credible is the international community when it says this is an international norm that has to be observed? The question is, how credible is Congress when it passes a treaty saying we have to forbid the use of chemical weapons? End quote. What we have here is a president of the United States who has put the credibility of the United States at risk and denies that it's his personal...
The credibility of the United States. He is personally offended.
He just said...
He heart America.
If Congress passes a law forbidding the use of chemical weapons anywhere, why wouldn't Congress saying, hey, that's a bad thing, you shouldn't have done that? Why wouldn't that be just the simple solution? Because you're still condemning it. You're following the law. Why do we have to go there and kill people?
We have to punish him. Punishment.
We're not
This
allowed
is
to
the
use
other.
them, so why should anybody
This is
else?
the other theme of whatever his religion is.
I'm becoming
Law.
more Catholic every moment that you play this.
Law and punishment.
At least the Pope came out and said, "This is not a good thing."
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I know.
It's like
Stop it!
It's
Stop
like,
it!
Credibility that is at stake.
Oh, goodness.
While it is true that many previous American presidents have been able to put together an international coalition, much of that has often been more public relations
like
than
Bush
reality.
did.
Oh wait, it's like you're in
we
his
got
head.
like Namibia, and we got like East, who knows where. We got a coalition.
It's like you're in Mohler's head.
Especially when the actual boots on the ground and planes in the air, not to mention the missiles following, have almost exclusively, if not overwhelmingly, been American.
Now it's a fiscal argument. We're paying for all these bombs.
These
to
other
kill
people signed up. There's 14 people in that nation over there, and they didn't send 12 of them to die like we did.
or any bullets to kill people with.
That was especially true in terms of the recent, supposedly international effort against Libya, when, as it turned out, the United States was the nation providing the bullets for the guns, even when the guns were shot by others.
He's incensed that we had to pay for those bullets.
Hey, you know what? He shouldn't be upset, because we're just stirring the American economic system into a machine that will run.
If we did nothing but manufacture bullets.
But see, I have a problem because I couldn't get ammo for like the past 6 months. I mean, it's been very
Well, now you know where it went.
terrible.
Killing people in Libya.
Yeah, what would you have done with it compared to that?
Along these lines, a very important article appeared in the Financial Times yesterday by Francois Heisberg. He writes, the notion that the relative power of the West is receding as emerging economies gain political and strategic heft is not novel. It is clear, too, from the Syrian crisis that the new great powers, including a reinvigorated Russia, are deeply averse to interference in what they see as inalienable sovereign rights.
I see sickles and hammers everywhere.
He's really living back in the 50s and 60s, isn't he?
Well, even the early 80s, really.
I guess so. Still glasnost and all that. Yeah.
We hated the Russians when I was a kid.
We were supposed to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, really, we should have hated those.
No, I did. I can remember hating the Russians. They were all going to come and force communism on us.
I'm watching the Olympics, and that was the biggest thing back, like the '84
Oh
Olympics.
my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
that stupid thing. Made a movie about it.
Oh, that's the 80, though, wasn't
the
it?
84.
I think it was 80
80 or 84.
I think it was 80, the miracle.
Exactly.
Miracle.
You know, that actually fits in with Reverend Al.
God intervened.
Just like in Syria,
Just
perhaps.
like in Syria. That's
We'll
right.
wait and see what happens.
An attitude explained in many instances by their former colonial or dependent status. I need to interject here. What's often at stake is their own oppression of their own citizens, and the fact that they want to claim sovereign immunity from any kind of international action.
That's why they would veto, because Vladimir Putin likes to kill all of his own people, so he wants Assad to be able to do it too.
Look what he did in Georgia. Oh, wait, those weren't his.
No, those weren't his people.
But Francois Heisberg is onto something when he said,
Did you say Heisenberg?
Heisenberg. Say my name.
suggests that the world would be a far less safe place once Western nations recede from any kind of military action. And that is exactly what many nations, perhaps most illustratively right now, Great Britain, appear ready to do.
So we're going to be less safe if we stop dropping bombs. People are going to be dying more if we stop dropping
No. You don't understand the definition of people that we have, Carl.
bombs. Okay, because I'm missing something.
The definition of people we have is American citizens.
Okay. Anybody else is fair game. It's
Yes.
our people.
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay.
Safe for who is not even a question.
No,
It's-
okay.
You just fill that blank in with Americans.
Who are you? I'm from the USA. All right. We won't kill you then.
I really want to get to the next part because I want to show my chart.
I believe it.
As Heisberg writes, European
Heisborg, did he just change his name?
It
As
was
Heisberg
Heisberg
writes,
before.
European defense spending is plunging by 15%
Plunging.
since the beginning of the economic crisis with no end in sight.
No, and
Wait. They're funding for what?
Military.
He goes on and says the U.S. defense budget is hammered by across-the-board
Hammered.
cuts under sequestration, while China's
now he wants to end sequestration.
military expenditure grows at a pace roughly equal with gross domestic product growth of 7% or more, a trend emulated by most of the emerging powers.
So let's just pause here.
I want to hurt myself with a blunt object.
Let me pull some facts out.
I'm still trying to figure out GDP increasing by 7%.
Wait, no, we're not allowed to talk.
Okay.
We can't use GDP because Rothbard didn't like GDP.
I'm with you.
And Bobby tells me not to talk about GDP, okay?
But they can't get lost in what he was trying to say.
No, yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's great. Go ahead.
So I'd
love to see this chart.
I have up a chart.
Oh, no, not another chart.
I have up a chart of global distribution of military expenditure.
It's a pie chart.
It's a pie chart.
I like pie.
Cereal in there?
40.
Oh, best line. Thank you, Carlton.
Priceless.
You just earned your keep.
Priceless. 39% of the chart is red. Very appropriate. And
it must be China.
And,
it's red.
It's red. Oh, wait a minute. That's the United States. The next largest is 18.2%. I'm sorry, 21.2%. That's the next 10 countries combined. Let me give you one guess. Which two countries are in those next 10 countries combined?
China.
China?
Russia.
Russia. There you go.
Great Britain. France.
No, actually, UK has their own.
Oh, they have their own.
Well, they're an ally. So
well, that's because they have 3.5%.
Oh, I'm sorry. Russia's not in there. Russia's in the 5.2%.
We really need to clarify here. This chart is not.
This is a terrible. Who pulled this chart up? Let's just say
it's got to be North Korea.
Let's just say.
Oh, China's not in there either.
Yeah, they are.
They're right there.
Yeah, they're not in the next 10 countries.
All right, I don't know how to read charts. I just like
blew it.
They're pretty.
Why is China's blue?
China,
not blue. They
China
should be
is
red.
blue.
We should consult on the next one. I can do a little bump out there for you. You can actually have the breakdown.
I think that's a great idea.
All right, U.S.
It would have taken a whole 3.5 seconds in Excel, so Andy wasn't up for that. Oh, wait, no, he stole the chart. He didn't even make it himself.
I don't know how to make charts. The U.S. is 39% of the world. China is 9.5%.
So they're... Wait, let's do the math here. That's very difficult. They're...
The math.
29.5%.
Or 25% of our spending.
Yeah.
Russia is half of China's spending.
Yep.
Yeah. That's terrible.
And of those other countries, how many have actually utilized military force against another country recently?
Looks like the big red one.
I think that's...
And the UK.
That would be about the only two.
Yeah, I don't know. China, the Tibet stuff all the time.
Well, that's true.
But they're still kind of slaughtering their own people.
Oh.
I mean,
You're baiting.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
All right, enough with that stupid chart.
It's not a bad chart. It was the explanation of the chart by this one person.
He goes on and says the U.S. defense budget is hammered by across-the-board cuts under sequestration.
Yeah, we heard that already.
Yeah.
When it comes to a situation like the challenge we now face in Syria, as Francois...
That's just terrible language to begin with. What's the challenge?
Somebody
said, I dare ya! No,
I believe that was Assad's son.
Oh, maybe.
This is his son on Facebook.
What's his son on Facebook? My daddy kicked your daddy's butt.
Heisenberg writes the United States must often, of necessity, stand alone.
Often of necessity.
Or no one will stand. He refers to...
We are the only righteous nation.
We're going to go into the first they came for... That's the next thing. First, Syria destroyed their own people. Then they destroyed the Middle
whole world.
Then they destroyed the whole world. And I didn't care till I realized part of the whole world. Shut up.
Europe as the coalition of the unable and the unwilling.
Oh my goodness, there we go. Man, every stereotype.
Could it be that there are people in Europe that actually remember having war fought in their own country, like
we haven't had war fought in our country?
Next door?
I thought Vietnam.
That's right.
Oh, that was somewhere else?
No, I think that was over there too.
Oh.
But
Korea
sure.
was here.
9/11. 9/11.
No.
9/11.
Oh, you got me.
I got you.
That was clearly war.
Heisenberg also points to the fact that both the British Prime Minister and the American President have decided to hide behind their respective legislatures in making this kind of a decision.
He's hiding.
Okay, so earlier he said something about weakening the power of the president, and you said, oh, that's not a bad thing. Why should the president be allowed... Never mind, it's Reverend Al. He wishes he was the president, could make all the decisions.
He is the president. He just is not the president of the large enough institution. I'm a terrible person.
That's a winner.
Unprecedented is a very new development, and certainly one that eliminates almost any form of real threat to military action.
I didn't get that.
It hasn't been like this since the Whiskey Rebellion. And everybody knew it was wrong then.
In terms of the debate in Congress right now, one American comedian has suggested that it is the first time that America has basically sent out a save this date announcement for a military action.
Oh, wait. Whoa, that's not true. That's
No?
not true. I can remember the first Iraq War. Bush said, "We are going to bomb you starting on X date almost if you don't comply
But he was
get out of Kuwait."
But he was a Republican.
Oh, okay. You're right. Oh, and he was saving the Kuwaiti people, who we shouldn't talk about the rest of that.
That was strategery again.
Strategery.
Francois Heisberg ends his article with these words: "The events in Western legislatures of the past few weeks have made the world a safer place for those who use chemical weapons to kill their own populations and for those powers that aid and support them." End quote.
End quote.
Well, he's right about that. It is a safer place all the time. The more governments grow in their power, it is a safer place for them to kill their own people. I can't really argue with that.
While indeed there might have been an opportunity for a good and substantial argument about the use of military action in such a situation as this, once the President of the United States draws a red line, and that line is crossed, and once we get ourselves into the politically precarious position we now find ourselves to be in...
It's called the Constitution.
The
I want to die now.
pronoun we. I don't...
No. Just bear me out for a second. But
just no.
If I was president and I said, "I think we should ban all guns," if one more school shooting happens, we're banning all guns. How would Al say? He's essentially saying anything the president says that is a red line.
And somebody crosses.
And somebody crosses it.
Go back
you
on
shouldn't
that.
question him.
You can't go back on it either.
No, it's diminishing the presidency.
Weakness.
So, okay, the next time there's a school shooting, you're not going to complain, Al, that they're trying to take away our guns.
We could take this analogy further.
I know. I know.
America and the rest of the world must recognize that recent events have made the world far less safe rather than more safe.
Got that?
You know, I figured out what the worst job in the world is. The guy that's got to clean the microphone after this vomitous, horrific thing.
That's
happens.
the end, by the way.
I'm very glad.
I cut it down for you.
Oh my! How do you listen to that?
But he was very angry, though. I will give you that.
He's
very
angry.
His voice just makes me angry.
He's so pompous.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only ones allowed to be pompous.
Damn Skippy.
All right. That's the end of our Al Mohler and Syria segment.
Praised be God.
All right, so this is our new segment, the NSA.
Heard of them.
I always like to test, make sure that they're online with us and
Can
listening.
you say NSA all in a row?
No, I'd probably be sued for intellectual property infringement. So you may remember that during our last podcast or the previous one, I made some...
Don't tell me that this is also the follow-up segment. Okay.
No, this is... I'm reminding you of how I was wrong.
I guess.
Remember how I said I don't think they can crack good encryption? Apparently I was wrong. It appears that they are able to crack some of the most popular encryption protocols used on the internet, per our buddy Ed Snowden. And there was another article that I think I either posted or I tweeted maybe. It was in CNET, and it was, I forget where the guy was, a professor somewhere. He basically said, you should consider 1024-bit RSA encryption crackable at this point. Easily.
Oh my goodness, easily.
Move to 2048 immediately. And he's still not sure how long that will take.
Well, yeah.
So, theoretically, it's supposed to take, infinitely longer to crack 2048 than 1024, but who knows. But Bruce Schneier wrote it. He's now working with Glenn Greenwald at the Guardian. He's writing articles.
That's awesome.
It's really good. And he's written a couple, but he wrote one about how to stay safe, so to speak. And he had 5 pieces of advice, and they're not like super technical. So I just wanted to hit on each one. His first one is hide in the network. In other words, use anonymizing services like Tor, which, if you're not familiar, basically routes all of your traffic out random parts of the internet, so it doesn't look like it's coming from your source. And he caveats all these, saying, yes, I know the NSA looks for this kind of stuff, but it's still better to have it than not to have it, right? It makes their job harder. So
right. For every layer that you add to make it more difficult for them,
we should add layers of complexity.
The more we waste their time, the better anyway.
Exactly.
Even if we have nothing behind it, like a whole bunch of versions of the Jolly Roger.
That's right. His second point is encrypt your communications, use TLS, use IPsec. Again, they might be able to crack it, but they're going to have to they'll have to build another data center at some point, right?
But sooner.
The
more we do this, the sooner they will have
and
to waste more money.
And they'll be broke for bombing Syria, so...
And we have no money, yeah, right, when the economy collapses. Number 3, assume that while your computer can be compromised, it would take work and risk on the part of the NSA, so it probably isn't. His point here is that is so much more work for them than just sniffing it off the wire that you should be careful, but that's not really where you should focus your attention. Although he does talk about how he moves files for all the stories he's writing for The Guardian
I read
using a USB stick. Number 4, be suspicious of commercial encryption software, especially from large vendors. Now this one, actually, I'm going to call that I was right on this one.
Yeah.
You may remember the NSA is sponsoring a lab or some kind of workshop or something at
Research Triangle
Junior, NC State, right? Right down the street from all of these companies. I'm sure they've been doing it for a while. Microsoft, they have a backdoor, and we know that. They probably have a backdoor right into RSA encryption. Which is why, and Schneier is one of the authors of a lot of encryption protocols, which is why you need open protocols, open source software, so you can see what's in it. Everyone can see what's in it, right? It's always been the argument for why open source is safer than
far superior.
Number 5, try to use public domain encryption, same sort of thing, that has to be compatible with other implementations. So his example here is BitLocker, which is Microsoft's drive encryption technology, right? Well, if Microsoft's the only one that knows how it works, there's a chance that the NSA has a backdoor into it, right?
I'm sure. Yeah.
But if you use open, GPG or TrueCrypt or one of these other open source ones, very low risk that they can crack that, right?
Yeah.
So these are all good, and I'm glad that he's writing articles now for The Guardian. So he seems really ticked off.
Yeah,
it's like his
one of the few.
One of the few. It's like he's written some books since 9/11 too about real security. Like he's not a libertarian or an anarchist, but he does have some common sense. So it's good that he's on the right side of this.
He's at least dubious about the government's intentions.
Yeah,
and that's a step in the right direction.
So that's all I had on the NSA.
All right, on to the beer tasting.
Got rid of all
the best part of the podcast, though maybe not so much for you.
Let me get you glasses.
I thought he was going to pour for us, Carl. I should have known better.
Oh my gosh. Lazy. We'll let our guest choose the first beer here. We have Brooklyn, Oktoberfest. We have Victory. I picked up Yingling.
Wow.
Which I had never seen before. Dominion, local. Spaten, not local.
Close, but not local.
And somebody grabbed 2 Dominions.
Oh, Phil. What are we supposed to have?
Let's try the Spaten. All right, direct from Bavaria. Brewed in Munich.
That's the right way to start. Good call. Good call.
This is why we haven't.
What do we need? What's the other thing we need?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what's the 2 lines on the glass?
Oh, there's more inside. Oh, these glasses are from the Beer Bourbon Festival.
Oh, okay.
That's the line they're allowed.
He's going to pour for us.
So fill your glass too.
Oh, well, during the festival.
Yeah.
So you can get a refill, but you just can't get more than
That's
that.
right.
Oh, well, yeah, you weren't drinking beer then either.
I was drinking both.
To that line? They give you beer to that line?
Oh, no, they fill it up with beer.
Exactly.
They fill the bourbon to that line. What do we got here?
I like the color
It's got a
already.
nice color. It's got the nice Munich malt.
Yes.
Here's to supporting Angola.
Angela! Nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's really good, actually. I don't remember actually having it.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
This makes me want to brew another.
What do they do? Just,
They're German.
my goodness.
Wasn't there a time we were supposed to hate the Germans, too?
I never did.
You're just making my job harder.
Wow. It's just,
I was being facetious.
it's almost
if nobody
like
could
it's
tell.
filtered and then filtered and then filtered. There's just nothing but that perfect taste. I don't understand
Very crisp.
it.
At least
Crisp,
you're-
but
Wow.
malty.
Yeah. I think
It's
that
really
should
good.
be in the dictionary. Septemberfest, and then just a picture of that.
Septemberfest?
Is that what I just said?
Yeah. Alright, we'll put that one back in there then. So, winner?
We can if you really want to.
I'm just, no.
There is nothing to complain about.
No, very, very good.
And that's me speaking. So that goes a long way.
Let's try the Brooklyn.
Maybe. Oh, wow.
It's
Could go either
a
way.
It's a toss-up,
It's a toss-up.
If you're a homeschooler, I'm going to break down the doors of your house.
It does not have the same.
The bouquet is not good compared to...
It's just
The spot.
it's lacking.
Yeah.
Got a heftier aftertaste, too.
It's more toasted malt, I think. A little drier.
The color's a lot more orange than gold, too.
Yeah, it's like they use more crystal meth.
Must have gotten it from Heisborg.
Heisborg. That's where the Reverend Doctor gets his from. All right. Your choice.
I'm gonna... No one else is ever gonna ask for it, so I'll go for the England.
It's America's oldest brewery.
I really don't want to drink it. But...
I really don't want to try that.
I thought he said something else.
Beer number 3.
Number 3.
And then I thought you were going to say one.
Aaron's favorite.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Old Yingling Oktoberfest.
Oh?
Is this the first
You're
year?
almost getting beer on the electronics.
It's water.
He has
You're
a
almost
back-
getting water on the electronics.
He has a backup.
Every time you try
I have.
We have 47 laptops.
I loved it.
He actually just takes...
We're recording here. Would you shut up?
We actually just take the files from one laptop and move them to another.
Gotcha.
Like there's 4 of them that haven't ever been connected to the internet.
That's right. I use a USB stick.
True. You can record a laugh reel or a clap reel here from the gallery.
Yeah, you think they're going to obey any command
No.
ever given.
No. Is this the first year that Yingling has made Oktoberfest? I don't remember
never
ever
seen it
seeing
before.
it. You know what? I'll pour myself first. 'Cause that's the kind of guy I am.
It looks like the Brooklyn to start out.
It's my birthday, Aaron.
Pour. No, you pour.
I'm going to pour right down the
Pour.
center.
You're going to drip all over me, as usual. Oh. Why would you do that? You're such a jerk. There's that golden...
I don't know. These guys are German. They might... Or Chinese. I can never remember. Yingling.
Russian.
Russian.
Just ask Al.
Russian beer. It's not good. It still doesn't have... It's like we're measuring everything up against the spot.
It's funny. It smells just like
That's,
foam.
That's not far from the spot, no. That's better than the Brooklyn, I think.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
I do.
I'm going to have to go ahead and disagree with you there.
I don't know. I kind of...
It's got a horrific aftertaste, too.
Yes.
So it's like England.
Would anybody like this
it's
beer?
Like, it's like... It almost tastes like the Spaten.
Like spat? Like somebody spat?
Yeah, exactly. Not like the Spaten, which tasted good.
That's what I said.
Nope. Second sip's
The
not
back
better.
end of it is kind of like battery acid.
Apparently, this is the reason it's not normal.
This
today.
is,
I
they
think
won't be brewing this again, I don't think.
I think you're the only person on earth that bought any of this.
There were like 100 cases there.
Not great. It's really not great. Yeah.
We just throw it out.
We get a rinse. All right, it's your turn again.
What do we have left?
Victory. Schneier. They're German too.
They are German.
And New Belgium. They're not German. Oh, this isn't actually at Oktoberfest. This is a disgusting beer I picked up. I thought we'd try.
No, we already had the England.
This might be worse. This is
Pump
called
Kick.
Pump Kick.
It's Belgian.
It's ale brewed with pumpkin juice, cranberry juice, and spices.
They named it after that song.
All the other kids with their pump kick.
Is it please tell me it's recorded. Please. Please tell me it's
Edit that
recorded.
out.
Let's go.
No. I'm singing in one episode, now you're singing in another. I like it.
Oh, you were singing. That's right. And then the Dominion.
Do the Shiner.
Schneier.
Yeah.
It says it's a deliciously festive seasonal
Is
ale.
this in clear glass too?
No, that's brown.
Exactly. Why in the world do they still keep putting their other stuff in clear glass?
Schneier?
Yes.
Schneier doesn't. No, they don't. No, their Bach is not in clear.
I thought it was.
No, you're wrong.
I'm not so sure about that.
No?
No, it's light.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried.
Urine.
Love me a good urine.
Oh my word, it's not light, it's
Urine.
no colored. It really does look like a urine.
It looks like Miller Lite.
Don't put it down here.
Sorry, Carl, you got the real stuff.
It has almost no aroma,
No, it has aroma.
but it's actually pretty crisp.
It does have aroma.
I don't know enough. I'm just going to say it. So.
Toppier, as opposed to maltier. It's got that. It's really light. It's almost like a.
I'm not getting it.
No.
I don't taste the alcohol.
Slightly floral.
It's better than the Yingling.
It's not bad.
I wouldn't really call it too much of an Oktoberfest. Where's
You
the
feel
bottle?
you have to play your music for everyone.
I'm sorry. Can I see the bottle? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you reach that far.
Well, it's the down. I didn't have to reach down. It's okay.
All right, it's made with the highest quality two-row barley, Munich and caramel malts, and German-grown Hallertau tradition and Hersbrucker hops.
The malt isn't right.
It's not. It's too acidic or something. I don't know what it is. It's okay. It's not a great example.
Beer.
All right, next.
I think it was the bouquet. The bouquet wasn't quite right.
I feel like he's mocking us.
He's going to be wearing the beer in a second. Whose turn is it?
Doesn't matter.
It's mine.
Yours.
No. I'm going to go Victory.
That's German too.
No.
And I was looking at the German spelling there.
Oh, Fest beer, yes. This is a rich amber lager in the tradition.
It's Belgian, right?
Of
Is this
Oktoberfest.
the one that is this the Belgian?
No. This
Which
is
one is where who makes this?
this is brewed in Downingtown.
Oh, this is local. This is the local.
No. The other one is the Dominion.
Downingtown. You said Downingtown.
Yeah, the Dominion,
Almost local.
almost local.
Well,
The Dominion's in Dover.
Which is further away than Downingtown.
I was going to say from
I
here.
don't think that's true.
No. It's pretty close, I would say.
Dog barking.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Apparently I'm going to like this one. Oh, my.
Ooh. We may have a winner here. At least for the domestic.
Definitely got the malt better.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
That's excellent. Although I don't think it's an Oktoberfest.
No. It is a good beer,
It's
though.
really good, though.
Oh, wow. What is that aftertaste?
That's like a biscuit malt.
Yeah.
Toasted malt.
We're snobs.
It's good stuff.
He's an elite. He's an elitist.
Yeah. He's a snob. No, you're like a beer
Nazi.
connoisseur. Yeah, beer Nazi.
Nazi.
That's better. You're definitely not a
I
connoisseur.
really like that.
Yeah, that's really good. But I agree, it's not an Oktoberfest.
It reminds me, actually, of New Belgium's Fat Tire Ale.
Oh, yeah.
As far
Yeah.
as the dryness.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, would you go turn your music off in your car?
Everyone knows it's your music. I don't know why you keep acting like it's someone else's.
Well, I'm just going to put that one over here.
I'm gonna have the Yingling shade all the other beers. Nobody really cares about the other.
Yingling, anyway.
The ladies.
The
The ladies can have all the Yingling they want.
Definitely.
And you're left with...
Of course, the women would look at us funny. We're going like this with beer.
Wine?
No, I said when we're doing this with beer. If we're doing this like
swirling.
wine.
I thought you were looking at the wine through
I'm
the
not
light.
so sure you should drink this last one.
Probably not. I'm going to do it anyway. This is a specialty lager.
You think?
Wow, they spelled Marzen weird. Maerzen. They use 8 types of imported German malts and 4 hops to create this copper-colored fest beer. Does have good color.
Just the Dover one?
Yeah. Not a lot of aroma.
Supporting Merkel again.
Dover?
Yeah.
Dover?
Oh, Markel, I'm sorry. It was an honest mistake.
I thought you were going to say Bo Biden.
Bo. Our buddy Bo.
Look, if you're not from Louisiana, you don't name your kid Bo, right? That's just...
It's perhaps the most flavorless Oktoberfest I've ever had.
There's nothing there.
How did they get all that color in there with no flavor?
Brown number 8.
That's a real chemical, isn't it?
All natural brown number 8.
Yeah. No.
It's beer. It's not good tasting beer.
I'm okay.
Still alcohol.
I was brought up not to waste.
Where I come from.
It's really not good, though.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't break that glass.
Cost you a lot.
But I'm going to drink this because the last one we're about ready to taste
It's going to be worse.
is probably going to be worse.
It might be.
Not sure. Yes.
Have you tasted the pumpkin?
Now, that's not listed as an Oktoberfest. This is just a...
No, but my wife really likes pumpkin-flavored beers. So I thought I would get this.
But it's more pumpkin infused. This isn't...
Well, the funny thing about pumpkin-flavored beers is that pumpkin doesn't actually have any flavor. Especially once you put it into mash or into the boil and boil it for an hour.
So we're talking
pumpkin
spices here.
So
even in a pie.
Even in a pie, there's
it's just a vehicle for the spices.
Yeah.
The nutmeg and all.
Even
Exactly.
more
Yeah.
so in the beer because there's no texture to it, right?
Right.
So they add weird things like cranberry juice to kick it up.
So this is a lambic.
If it were a lambic, I might like it actually. You go first.
Carlton goes first. Problem solved.
It sounds like a great party. You want to go?
Sounds like somebody bought one of those I Got
It's
Bass
definitely got
CDs.
spice in it.
Oh no.
There's definitely spice.
Oh,
I also bought it because I love New Belgium's beers. They're really good.
please tell me that. No,
it's
just
it's not
it's that.
condensation. It's
Yeah, it's that.
Oh, it's
It's
cloudy.
kind of cloudy.
It is cloudy. They ran out of. Oh my
That smells
gosh!
like something that came out of a skunk.
Whew.
dude, did they take all spice and just dump it in there?
That's exactly what it smells like.
It's what it tastes.
Just
like.
wait till you taste it. Gosh.
Oh,
It is bad. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
there's a
not
really good pumpkin
I'm
beer
not a
here
beer
for you.
connoisseur of any kind, but this.
But
is
I know
bad.
bad beer when I taste one.
That's not
I'll
good.
try any
Here.
beer.
No. That's
Yeah,
like
it's delicious.
Allspice with a little bit of alcohol in it.
Jackie?
Sure, why not?
Here, you can have another one.
It doesn't smell that bad. It smells like
Allspice.
no, it smells like Old Bay on crabs.
Yes!
that's exactly what it smells
Exactly
like.
what it smells
Yeah.
like.
See, I don't smell that, but then again, I can't smell anything. So
It actually.
That's
tastes
why
a
he
little
thinks
like-
the other beers are alright.
I have a problem. Yeah.
He has a problem.
Olfactorily.
This is a crab beer.
Or fact, yes!
This it
You
tastes like
you have an olfact.
An olfactory
Yeah, it does.
issue.
That's exactly what it tastes like. Not like all.
Like,
Old Bay.
so it would be good with...
Yes!
That's
right.
a face
Trade
right
spots.
there.
Trade spots.
It's delicious. If you like.
You want to try?
You gotta try.
If you like Old Bay.
It's not good. It's not, but
not
it does
good.
taste like Old Bay, which I like if it's on crab.
Apparently, nobody's even willing to finish half of
I
it.
think I'm going to try some more of that spot.
I'm really glad I only bought one, hopefully. Did I buy two of these?
You bought a whole 6-pack.
Oh, no, I bought two. Don't tell me that. All right.
I'm going to throw these out because
Uh,
that's disgusting.
That is the end of our beer tasting.
Thankfully.
Spaten?
Spot number one.
Rotten. Victory, very
Victory,
good,
I
but
think.
not an Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's like another category.
that's another category, yeah.
The Brooklyn one was actually pretty
Brooklyn,
good.
that was actually decent.
It was okay. The Yingling
That should be another category because it was so bad.
and the Shiner.
Mm.
No. You know what?
Don't buy anything with the Spaten and the Victory. That's the lesson learned here.
I agree, but I know we're doing Oktoberfest, but we do have one more.
Sweet.
We do have one more select.
Oh.
This is an awesome beer.
So
this
good.
is Lagunitas Pale Ale. It's called New Dogtown. And
So the music's appropriate at this point.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so.
don't ever do that again.
No.
Oh, I see. You're the
Where's
only one.
my Where's my iPhone? I need to play some Al Green right now.
At least it's not Al Mohler. There you go.
Amen. Amen to that. Wow.
Just a little bit of spit in there.
It's fine.
No
It's
problem.
no worse than the Yingling. Yeah, can we use the Yingling
I
to rinse our
spit,
glasses
too.
out with?
I think you could. No, because it's not entirely tasteless. Unfortunately.
All right, here you go.
What is this? That was actually.
New Dogtown.
Oh, I didn't really get yours very clean.
That's all right.
But you're not a
I
connoisseur,
can't
so it
smell
doesn't
it
really
anyway.
matter. Oh, you'll smell this.
Oh yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unless your schnoz is broken. Unless you are completely absent olfactorily.
Good. It's good stuff.
You can smell it, can't you?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan.
Oh, it smells so good. This is like, I think this is the best
I don't
beer
know-
I've had this year.
That is a lot of
It,
hops.
it really is.
It's good stuff.
It's amazing. It's like you're standing at a hop vine,
It's
smelling
like
the
you're
hops.
sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
It's like a party
Smelling
on
the
my
hops.
tongue.
We're gonna have to edit that out.
Don't ever say that again.
It
It
is
is pretty good.
Yeah.
just a little, slightly over bitter. Just
No.
like, no, just like it's,
If you like hops, it's not. I mean, I think
it's refreshing,
Yes.
right?
Yes. This chilled to just.
I don't mean over bitter like it's too
Oh.
bitter. I mean like they took the bitterness just past the malt that it has in it, right? To the balance, right?
Yeah, the
just
balance.
enough to.
Yeah, I can see that. If there was a little less aftertaste, I think that's.
It's not a lot you can do to improve this beer.
No.
It's really good.
it's good stuff.
So Spaten, Victory, and definitely, which you won't be able to get anymore because it's the end of the season.
Right.
Honorable
Sorry about
mention.
your luck.
Honorable mention for sure, New Dogtown.
That's like a category over here.
That's right. Where is it?
Over here. Versus the. How did I do that?
Are you throwing gang signs?
I am.
And next week we will teach how to cook meth.
You're the chemist.
Next week on Curmudgeons, meth cooking for fun
Alternate
and
source of
profit.
income.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for listening. Send us suggestions, links, or show ideas, and please remember to rate our blog posts. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back in 2 weeks. When Al Mohler finally runs for president of the international community, Aaron will renounce his citizenship and move to the Catholic colony on Pluto, which is a planet. I, however, will enjoy life in the new Baptist utopia. Until then, spit on your hands and hoist the black flag.